Hello, good afternoon. This is the Midday News. The bulletin is live here on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra. In Kumasi is live on Love 99.5 FM and affiliates across Ghana, including Kekeli Radio in Ho, Radio Y in Wa, and Radio Max in Takrady. You can also download the My Joyland app from Play Store and App Store to listen live on the internet. In this edition, some Ghanaians reject government's plan to address concerns raised by hashtag Fix the Country campaigners, saying it fails to provide immediate relief to the many challenges confronting them.
Enough of the sweet talks. Students are tired of staying in school for just 1 month.
Doomsaw is even back again. They have to listen to Ghanaians.
Our take-home salaries does not take us home.
We'll take you live to the Ashanti and Volta regions. Also, National Association of Small-Scale Miners takes on the military for allegedly burning excavators and equipment belonging to its members operating illegally.
We want clarification on the president's directives to the military. That is, did the president order the military to burn excavators on site or seize them?
We have more as they give government a 7-day ultimatum to fix the problem or face the wrath. Also, virologists warns of possible third wave of COVID-19 in Ghana as many have relaxed in observing the safety protocols, especially the wearing of face masks.
The problem happening in India is what is giving the world some cause of concern. Because the behavior of this one, the UK, are very similar. It is highly likely that if it enters any country, it's going to take that country to the third wave.
And in sports,
we'll hear from Dr. Kofi Amwa, who thinks Ghana should suspend hosting the 2023 Africa Games. He believes the country is simply not ready.
And later, two-time winners of the National Science and Maths Quiz in Fancy Pimp School battle for a slot at the 2021 National Championship.
The 2020 Central Regional Champions are Wesley Girls High School.
We have details as the journey to the main competition in October continue with Central Regional qualifiers. That and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apau. And this is your home of bold and fearless journalism. Thanks once again for your company. And this afternoon, some Ghanaians have rejected the measures announced by government as solutions to the challenges that trigger the Fix the Country social media campaign. They say the measures are not immediate and will bring no relief in the short term. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta on Sunday announced the implementation of a $200 million jobs and skills program and the immediate provision of potable water to areas in critical need, especially in urban areas. The protesters, however, say they remain unconvinced after the finance minister addressed that news conference. Here's a news desk report.
On a day the Fix the Country campaigners had scheduled to hit the streets, the finance minister chose his moment to address their concerns, especially when that protest had been banned by the courts. He was quick to acknowledge the genuineness of concerns after disclosing that he had actually met the leadership of the campaigners.
I acknowledge that these are challenging times for many of us, so I commend the youth for calling on government and leaders to be at their best. This shows the patriotism of Ghanaian youth, echoing the president's call to be a citizen and not a spectator. You have elected us to solve the problems that face this country. We will continue to work with you and other stakeholders to do just that.
But then, he was clear government had fallen short of expectation, largely due to the impact of COVID.
For the first time in our 64 years of nationhood, the Ghanaian government had to tackle a severe health crisis and its attendant economic crisis, with the resultant loss of jobs, incomes, the collapse of businesses, and loss of government revenue.
For the campaigners, however, these are mere excuses. To address that, Mr. Ofori-Atta laid out his plan in direct response to the Fix the Country demands.
In the coming days, we will move swiftly to address some of the issues that the hashtag Fix the Economy have raised. First, I'm working with the Minister for Water and Sanitation to immediately ensure potable water to areas of critical need. Second, I'm working with the Ministers of Road and Highways and Transport and Interior to address congestion along the major highways. Third, we are fast-tracking the implementation of the two $200 million Jobs and Skills Program and Economic Transformation Program to enhance job creation significantly. Fourth, starting this month, we are rolling out over 8 additional interventions under the Ghana Cares Obatampa program. Fifth, by the end of July, we'll have a new development bank capitalized at over $500 million.
Mausi Baka Vomawo, convener of the Fix the Country protest, says they remain unconvinced.
There's a lack of belief in a system that doesn't keep its word. I don't think that people are at the point where they feel or they are convinced that this speech alone does it. I think people want something substantive in action.
That was a News Desk report. Let's get some more reactions, and we start off from the Ashanti region where my colleague Erastus Asaridonko joins us live. Erastus, so we understand that residents there still have specific demands despite the government assurances. What exactly are they?
Yes, there are many who support the Fix the Country campaign, and their main concerns are premised on roads. And they say that prior to the election, we had various contractors coming on site and behaving as if they were completing the works. But then soon after the election, those equipment have disappeared. Many are also talking about the Dumsor situation in Kumasi, which is severe, and they think that they need solutions to these problems now.
Oh, I support it. I support it. The people are making a whole lot of noise on these lightning issues. For instance, that Dumsor is even back again. They have to listen to Ghanaians. Certain things we expected to enjoy our Ghanaians because we pay tax. So when it comes to a phase where people are not happy because of maybe lightning issues and that, it brings a lot of challenges to their business, education.
As for me, I don't support it because of not increasing the salary. That's why people are making noise about it. Increment of fuel and those kind of things. These things make us bore the government.
We need to make the standard of living very high for us. Houses of the judges that the government is building. It is not important right now. We need the government to fix the electricity, roads, and hospitals and others.
Normal people are touching my own. One area say from Kumasi to Accra Road. I just double lanes. What I say?
Like if you look at the educational side, we are lacking a lot of things. Free SHS is a good policy on the educational side, but I think free SHS need a lot of improvement. As in, we need a lot of qualified teachers in the free SHS policy to improve learning. The government will also look at the agricultural side to increase productivity.
Views of some residents in Kumasi. I'll take you now to the Volta region where we're hearing that some Ghanaians also say they don't find answers from government to their challenges. We can listen to some of them.
Akufo-Addo Bawumia government, fix the country now. Enough of the sweet talks. Students are tired of staying in school for just 1 month. Teachers are tired of using their meager salary to buy data for research. Provide the textbooks now. We need the 101 hospitals now. The sea along the coast is displacing people. Fix that problem now. Use the road tolls to fix the roads.
Just fix the country. That is why we voted you in power. Poor electricity, power outages, poor roads. Just come and see Afiadenigba Road now. You can't just use that road twice a day. You can't do it. Come and fix the country. We need fixing of this very country. This is our motherland. Our take-home salaries does not take us home. Why?
They come promising to rescue us from our suffering. But like this fish, which was rescued from drowning, we are often taken from bad to worse situation. In my part of the country where I come from, roads are in deplorable state. For instance, the Diamond Cement Road at Aplau, there is erratic power supply. Tidal waves has destroyed a plethora of houses. Victims are left at the mercy of the weather. You campaigned at the back of Mahama's incompetency and non-performance, and so you don't have any excuse whatsoever not to fix the country. Fix the country now. Fix the country. We are very hungry. Fix the country.
Views of some residents in the Volta region. Now, the National Association of Small-Scale Miners is taking on the military for allegedly burning excavators and equipment belonging to its members that are operating legally. According to them, the use of the military to destroy and harass its members was not one of the measures agreed on during the recent national dialogue on mining. 3 excavators and several mining equipment have been burnt at the site of their members in the Trifo-Praso district of the Central Region. At a news conference at the site today, a spokesperson of the association Solution, Abdulrazak Al-Hassan, gave government a 7-day ultimatum to fix the problems they have caused or face thereof.
Yes, we want clarification on the president directives to the military. That is, did the president order the military to burn excavators on site or seize them? This is a question that we need answers to be answered. For example, the military were asked to go on river bodies, but we have a situation whereby they veer off and they went to communities whereby there are licensed small-scale miners and they went burning their equipment. The other one that we want clarification or we want to find out or see how best, can't the government liaise with the Minerals Commission for the names of small-scale block out areas across the country and share with the deployed military personnel to prevent them from harassing legally licensed miners? Example of nursing members whose sites have been burnt or evaded by the military, although mining activities are not on river bodies.
Let's bring in Central Regional Correspondent Richard Kojunyak, who was at that press conference. Richard, paint a picture to us about the extent of destruction.
Well, so these are destructions that were caused in 3 sites, Chifinta Frewaso, and then Miamakrum in that area. Now, they spent 3 excavators and other mining equipment. They value at $3 million, and they say that that was not what they agreed on because they didn't say that they were going to involve the military in destroying people that really have legal pets.
But they've been giving government a 7-day ultimatum to fix the problems. What exactly do they want government to do when it comes to the situation?
Well, so they want the government to fix the situation by calling the military to order and then doing the right thing. The first, and that is why they have given government 7 days. After that, they will engage in street protests, and then they will also resort to legal action.
That's my colleague Richard Kojo Nyako there reporting from the Central Region. I'll take you now to the Ashanti region where virologists at the Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research is warning of a 3rd wave of COVID-19 in Ghana if Ghanaians fail to adhere to safety protocols. Dr. Michael Owusu observed that many have relaxed in the safety protocols, especially the wearing of face masks. He wants the public to be wary of development in India after that Asian country was hit by a wild COVID-19 strain. He's been speaking to my colleague Ohiming Teria.
Now, the problem happening in India is what is giving the world some cause of concern. India is having the B1617. That one has the same transmissibility as the B117. And because the behavior of this one and the UK are very similar, it is highly likely that if it enters any country, it's going to take that country to the 3rd wave. So the virus concern is what people are worried about. And 2 is about the population size. India has close to 1.3 billion people, just like China. And for such high populated country, it means whatever they have, once they move and travel out of the country, everywhere they go, they are likely to see that country with this kind of variants that they have. We have put in very good systems at the airport. Even the next, the review or the information given by the foreign ministry, to the extent that even if you are negative from a high-risk country, you have to be quarantined for some time and be retested. These are good. But then this is not foolproof. It means that out of 100 people, you may have 1 or 2 that will slip unknowingly into the country. But if within the country, everybody is observing his own protocol and put on his mask, even if people come with that kind of thing, it will not survive. It's just a matter of time to get out of the system. But then when people are not behaving well, and we even have one person who slips through the airport, that person can easily infect many people, and that can contribute to that. I mean, you see the churches that had this mass gathering. If you had one person slip into that place, you only will have to tell. You will not be a prophet to tell that this will lead to the next wave that we're talking about. So it's about behavior.
My colleague Ohiming Teria joins us live with more from that interview with Dr. Michael Owusu. So Ohiming, he's been making some suggestions as to what can be done to save the situation.
Yes, MFR, he says the police and other security agencies tasked to enforce regulations on the safety protocols should be up and doing, especially with the police. They should hit the street and ensure that people, put on their face masks.
It's difficult. People do things the way they want. We are happy that there is a law in place, but then the implementation and the execution and to ensure people are arrested is also another problem. So whilst all these structures and systems are being put in place, we have to ensure that people do what is right. One, education like what we are doing, but then two, that the police will continue to enforce the law. For those who flout this to be arrested, those who don't put on their marks should be prosecuted. And we have to be seen as serious about this. We don't have to wait for the health sector to become overwhelmed, for people to die, just because few people just don't want to adhere to the protocol. So we must revisit what we did before and ensure that people do what they're supposed to do so that we don't put the country in a difficulty like India is facing now with so many deaths. We don't want to see that in Africa or even in Ghana. We will have to keep the virus at a low level whilst the vaccination exercise goes through to ensure people are well protected.
Now, you've been engaging members of the public where you are, and they've been apathetic about the COVID-19 safety protocols. What have they been telling you?
Yes, MFA, on the streets of Kumasi, when you meet 10 people, out of this number, 4 will be in face mask. And some say that because the police are not on the street, that is how come they are not wearing their face mask.
If you are to wear this nose mask, at times breathing becomes very difficult, even most especially to the asthmatic patient. So that's why people don't feel like we put on this. Actually, I believe it because I've watched a lot of documentary and I also witnessed people who have been infected with this coronavirus and what they have been through.
If you look around, most of us are not putting on their nose mask because they lack the sense of they don't know what COVID is. So if you look around, most of us are not putting on their nose mask because they lack the sense of they don't know what COVID is. So
Sabani percent nose mask ni ya shenya de boy are no banya. Once I hear mranim say we see here mranim no.
Some views in the Ashanti region. Interestingly, there's a research by the University of Southampton on vaccine acceptance in Ghana, and it's shown that 43.4% of Ghanaians believe the vaccines are dangerous and could affect their health. The research also shows that 54.3% say the vaccines may have harmful side effects. However, 82.8% of Ghanaians also say they are willing to take the vaccine when offered the opportunity. This research comes after the Ghana Health Service readies itself to inoculate more Ghanaians following the arrival of some 350,000 AstraZeneca vaccines last Friday. Ketchops Atengle is Executive Director for Pax Africa. He spoke on the AM show with Mama V. Owusu-Abuaje.
Our interest in this study was to look at the drivers for or against vaccine hesitancy in the country in support that the authorities would be making.
Those who were more exposed, who were likely to get COVID-19, were more hesitant in taking the doses?
So there are two sides of that. One is the financial, those who were financially hit, in that, they had their incomes distorted and all that. They rather expressed lesser hesitancy to that because they knew the effects that it was having on them, so they were willing to push forward. And then there were those who said they were complying with the protocols, those who use more of the sanitizers, the washing of hands, the masks and all that. They were also, willing to take the vaccine because they understand the effects that it is having on them.
How much of these findings eventually reflected in the acceptability of COVID-19 vaccination?
So for now, the study actually we did the first round in August, and the acceptance level was lower. That's in August of last year, we had about 63.2% of the respondents being willing to take the vaccine. Now, when we did the second round in March, the acceptance rate had gone higher, which is about 82.4%.
Ketchops Atengle is Executive Director for Pax Africa, speaking to host of the AM show, Mama V. Owusu-Abuaje. Meanwhile, the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kumabuaji, says the 350,000 doses of vaccines that arrived from Congo last Friday will be distributed to citizens who took their first doses. He, however, specified that priority will be given to citizens whose date for their second dose is closer to the 12-week time lapse. He's been speaking in an interview with journalists at the Child Health Promotion Week. He also further explained that the Ghana Health Service and the Ministry of Health are still working towards the procurement of more vaccines to be able to achieve their plan of vaccinating 20 million Ghanaians. Also, we stay on COVID-19 a while longer because some school authorities say many pupils have struggled to cope academically since returning to school after the year-long pandemic-induced break. As you know, the pandemic has affected everyone's lives. At the Youngsters International School here in Kokomlimli, the headmaster, William Osa AJ, explains just how much of a toll the year-long absence from learning has taken on the pupils of his school.
We just ended our first term, and we have come. And going through their report cards and stuff like that, you will see that it has really worried us, because most learners have lost it. We're trying as much as possible to bring them up, and it hasn't been easy at all. So, seriously speaking, it is a big challenge. Academic, it has taken the children aback, and you have to move in at a certain speed. And when you move in at that speed too, the child cannot move that speed, because you look at what the child lost, because second term, they didn't even complete. The whole of third term for a particular class was not completed. And so now the child has been promoted, mass promotion. They have to finish that of the second term, which they didn't finish, and the third term. And then they're in a new class. It is a problem.
How much of a problem has it been? How have you coped with online learning, for example?
Yes, when we started online, most of the children were joining us. A class of about 40, you have only about 3 people. And when you ask the parents, they will tell you that, look, they don't have the money to buy the gadgets. Even when they buy the gadgets, how to even buy data was a bit of a problem. So we did a little bit of the online thing, and then we switched to hard copy, where we printed questions, parents come, pick it up for their children. And we managed to actually make some gains in that field too.
William Oseje is headmaster of the Youngsters School here in Kokomlimli, interacting with host of AM show Benjamin Akakpo on the impact of COVID-19 induced break on pupils. This is the Midday News. You're on Joy 99.7 FM. Our top story: some Ghanaians reject government's plan to address concerns raised by hashtag Fix the Country campaigners, saying it fails to provide immediate relief to the many challenges confronting them. When we return from the break, we have sports, and then later, 2-time winners of the National Science and Maths Quiz in Fansipim School battle for a slot at the 2021 National Championship.
The 2020 Central Regional Champions are Wesley Girls High School.
This bulletin is live in the Volta region on Jubilee Radio Keta, Volta Premier and Kekali Radio in Ho, Lolonyo FM in Hohoi, Pando FM in Pando, Fafa Radio in Joje, Radio Hogba in Angloga, Klenam Radio Bato, Victory FM Aplao. In the Eastern region, we're on K Poly Radio in Kofrodia. In the Northern region, we're on Bishara Radio, Radio 123 and Radio Justice in Tamale. And in Savannah region, we're on Inkelege FM in Bole. In the Upper East region, we're live on A1 Radio and Dreams FM in Bogatanga and Radio Fumbese in Fumbese. In Upper West, we're live on Radio Sunmale in Wa, Radio Freed in Nandom, Radio Wa in Wa, and Bolu FM in Bolu. In the Bono East region, we're on Gaskia FM in Techiman. In Bono region, we're on Sky FM and Parrots FM in Sunyai. Central region, we're live on ATL FM in Cape Coast. And in the Western region, we're on Radio Max in Takrady.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Times for sports with Hans Mensando.
Hello, Emifa.
Hello, Hans.
And you know, in 2023, Ghana will be hosting what has come to be known as the Africa Games. And we are talking about some 28 months to that particular competition. Part of the facilities that Ghana is supposed to put up is a 50,000 capacity stadium that will have several facilities for the multi-sport event. As of now, none of the project is yet to kickstart. The man who led the Ghana Football Association's normalization committee is Dr. Kofi Amor. He thinks that Ghana should suspend hosting the 2023 Africa Games. He believes the country is simply not ready.
This showcase of sports tournaments, regional and global, are designed to show the pride of a nation to the world. And if it's done properly, then you can use it to attract tourism, attract investment. But if you are not ready, I think there's going to be many Africa sports events. Let us now support our government in enacting the policies. Somebody talked about education, job creation for our young people. That will build strength for our society. So when we want to go and host one of these regional or international tournaments, we really can showcase our nation to the world. So that's my comment. I think we should suspend this potential hosting. We are not ready. Financially, we are not ready. And if we are not careful, we are going to bring shame to the nation instead of pride and glory.
So that's Dr. Kofi Amor speaking there, and he believes that Ghana should suspend hosting the 2023 Africa Games.
Thank you very much, Hansman Sando. Now, there are the human shopping baskets in Ghana's markets. Statistics say there are over 10,000 of them in Accra alone. In the first of a 5-part series, my colleague Justice Beidou followed Valentina Roberts, a 14-year-old girl, Kayaye girl, to shine a light on the life of growing number of Accra's headquarters. Today, Valentina wakes up to work, dreading the pain and abuse ahead.
It is 3:30 a.m. on a Friday. I'm in a small room with a girl in Agbogloshi, one of Ghana's largest markets. It's roughly the size of a small kiosk. It has no windows. 12 girls sleep here together with all their belongings. 11 have already gone out to work at this time. Valentina, the only person left, is 14 years old.
We carry goods to places like the Tamale station or the Cocoa Board area. This job is tough.
I've come here to follow Valentina around for a week to tell the story of her life as a head porter, locally known as Kayaye. It's 6 a.m. She's already carried more than 20 loads of yam. All of them look heavier than the weight of her skinny body. She meanders through the market's alleyways. Her neck is stiff and could hardly show any emotion.
Sometimes you carry goods and you accidentally touch people. Even when you apologize, they still insult and abuse you. The people who hire us sometimes refuse to pay the agreed amount. For example, we carry goods from here to Tamale station. The person will agree to pay 10 cedis, and when you get to the destination, they decide to give you 5 cedis or 4 cedis. This is a big problem.
Justice Beidou's report.
Safe driving saves lives. Drive safe.
And it's time for our Drive Safe campaign, and the notion that people tend to speed when the country's roads are smoother has been endorsed by surgeons at KNUST, who say their research indicates more accidents occur on better roads. At least 1,000 people have been killed on Ghana's roads, this in the last 4 years alone. Here's Prophet Robert Kwanzaa of the KNUST Department of Surgery.
We had more accidents on paved roads. That if the situation is not going to change, and we're going to have the same attitude on the road, even when we dualize our roads, we'll still have increased numbers of victims.
Professor Robert Kwanzaa is with the KNUST Department of Surgery. So the tips we have for you today: obey speed limits, know when it is okay to overtake, and that's one way you can increase your chances of arriving at your destination in one piece. That's our Drive Safe campaign. It's time to attend attention to the National Science and Maths quiz, and 2-time winners of the competition in Fancy Pim School would later today know their fate regarding qualification to the National Championship in October this year. The Butchie boys failed to secure a place as a seeded school after they failed to make it to the quarterfinals of the 2020 national competition. Meanwhile, the Central Regional Director of Education, Martha Oswajiman, is optimistic a school from the region will win the trophy.
This competition is a way of helping our students to improve upon their mathematics and the sciences. And as a region too, it's very good. It makes the students take the learning of science and mathematics seriously.
Martha Oswajiman is the Central Regional Director of Education.
I just sing this song to you. Wherever you take my mama, I just want to say thank you. Oh, mama.
After weeks of reading emotional, happy and unbelievable birth stories, 10 mothers whose children sent in entries to the Joy FM hashtag How Mama Made Me promo were treated towards mini goodies, music and laughter. After all, they deserve it. Listen to highlights of the show hosted by Programs Manager Joy Cluster Edem Naite.
I'm so grateful for
Mommy, she's done too well through the hardship that we went through. And I pray that God should bless her. She's a good mother.
Mommy, congratulations and happy Mother's Day to you.
Thank you.
So if you will bring the packages so that we can do the presentation, we have a lot of items, and so we say congratulations.
Thank you.
Wish all mothers and those who are yet to be mothers, those who are not mothers, who don't have children, they're also mothers for other people. I want to wish every mother, every woman, happy Mother's Day.
God bless you, Mama.
Happy Mother's Day once again, and that's how Mama had me. It's time for showbiz. My pizza Sibidi.
And MFR, since we're still in the spirit of celebrating our mothers, we've been speaking to Ena Baroni about her new single called God is a Woman.
Goddess of rap, when I say God is a woman, I'm not actually trying to say God is a woman biblically.
Okay.
No,
okay.
That's not what I'm saying. But I look at the attributes of women. I mean, women, we give life, and even after birth, it's like the body of a woman actually gives food to a human.
That's it. That explains where you had the baby on your lap
and aside it giving food to a human, I mean the emotions of a woman and everything makes it look like we are the God on earth. And then I'm trying to say God is a woman musically. I mean, in our time right now, the God of music, I mean rap music, is a woman.
Okay, and which is
Ena Baroni.
God is a woman indeed, MFR.
God can't be a man.
Oh, I mean,
God
how?
is a creator.
That's right.
God is omnipotent.
That's right.
Alpha and the Omega.
Shenda Baba Bosha.
Definitely must be a woman. And that's it for the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. My joyonline.com stories that you've been reading. Government is either feigning incompetence on the point of how we fix structures or is pretending to fix them. Bakavoma or COVID-19, GHS to roll out second doses from May 19. Wholesome Living, episode 1 with Pastor Mensel Tabil. Up next, I am MFR Pau. Thanks so much for your company.